first met still runs beneath the trees, where the summer sun was falling through the soft and golden leaves. You were walking with a ribbon in your hair of chestnut brown, and I forgot the whole wide world when you turned and looked around. We were young and full of wonder, with no map and no regret, and every dream began that day on the road where we first met. Take me to the road where we first met, where the old song softly played, where every smile became a promise that the years could not take away. Take me to the road where we first met, where the golden memories stay. If I close my eyes and hear the music, I can find you there today. There were wildflowers by the fences, there were clouds above the hill, there were church bells in the distance, and my heart remembers still. You said life was made of moments that we learned to hold with care, and I knew that I would love you before I ever said a prayer. Now the years have crossed the valley and the road has changed its view, but every turn inside my memory still leads me back to you. Take me to the road where we first met, where the old song softly played, where every smile became a promise that the years could not take away. Take me to the road where we first met, where the golden memories stay. If I close my eyes and hear the music, I can find you there today. Ooh, that road still shines, ooh, through this heart of mine. Ooh, every melody brings your love back home to me. Time would give one morning from the days when love was new, I would walk that road more slowly just to spend more time with you. For love is not a memory that disappears with rain. It lives inside the old songs and brings us back again. Take me to the road where we first met, where the old song softly played, where every smile became a promise that the years could not take away. Take me to the road where we first met, where the golden memories stay. If I close my eyes and hear the music, I can find you there today. Take me to the road where we first met, where our simple hearts were true, So when the evening turns to gold and the old songs softly roam, I'll meet you on that quiet road where love first led me home.
Down where Miller's Creek runs slow, past the cotton fields that glow, there's an old road winding through the pines, holding pieces of another time. Every town is someone they recall, a quiet soul who never stood too tall. For ours it was old Emma Grace, with weathered hands and kindness on her face. She lived alone beside the creek bank bend, yet somehow felt like everybody's friend. A lantern hanging by her porch each night, shining like a little piece of light. People said no matter where you'd roam, that lantern always felt like coming home. Through summer heat or winter's bitter rain, its gentle glow remained the same. That lantern by Miller's Creek burned through the dark when hope felt weak, like heaven's window shining down on every lost soul passing through town. When roads were long and faith was hard to keep, God's love kept glowing in that lantern by Miller's Creek. One July the river barely moved, fields turned brown beneath the dusty noon. Crops were failing all across the land, worry written deep on every hand. Farmers gathered at the church one night, searching for a reason to keep the fight. Emma stood and softly bowed her head. Then these simple words were what she said: the Lord still sends a rain in His own way, and mercy grows where faith decides to stay. Though no one knew exactly what she'd seen, her peace felt stronger than the drought between. That lantern by Miller's Creek burned through the dark when hope felt weak, like heaven's window shining down on every lost soul passing through town. When roads were long and faith was hard to keep, God's love kept glowing in that lantern by Miller's Creek. A week went by and clouds began to rise, rolling slowly through the southern skies. Thunder echoed over field and barn, bringing life back to the waiting farms. Children danced beneath the falling rain, laughter filling every lane again. smiled whenever Emma passed, remembering how faith had held them fast. Years may fade like footprints in the dust, wood may weather, iron turn to rust, but the smallest light can still remain when it's fueled by grace instead of flame. Every act of love, every whispered prayer leaves a glow behind, still shining somewhere. Fall and nights grow cold and deep, we'll remember God's love in that lantern by Miller's Creek. Yes, we'll remember God's love in that lantern by Miller's Creek. The creek rolls on, the seasons change, mercy stays the same. The lantern still shines, the lantern still shines by Miller's Creek. I left town with a suitcase full of sorrow. Didn't know if I'd make it through tomorrow. White lines fading under worn out wheels, trying not to feel what I still feel. There was a Bible on the passenger seat, a half-read letter folded underneath. Every mile I drove away from pain still brought me closer to your name. I thought the road would hide my scars, but you were there beneath the stars. Miles of mercy carried me down the roads I couldn't see, through the dust and through the rain. You were healing every pain. Miles of mercy, grace unknown, led this wandering heart back home. Every turn I thought was wrong was where your love was leading on. Past a church outside of Abilene, with a wooden cross and a field of green. Something made me slow the car, like heaven whispered where you are. I walked inside with trembling hands, no one there to judge or understand, just an old hymn rising soft and low, telling me I wasn't alone. I didn't have the words to pray, but you heard me anyway. every mile I thought had failed me was a mile that led to you. Miles of mercy carried me down the roads I couldn't see. Oh, through the dust and through the rain, you were healing every pain. Miles of mercy, grace unknown, led this wandering heart back home. Every turn I thought was wrong was where your love was leading on. Every turn I thought was wrong was where your love was leading on. Behind Shiloh house, where the red clay runs and the white sheets dance in the morning sun, there's a cedar line between two old trees where mercy moved in the laundry breeze. Esther Clay rose before daylight broke with river soap and a calico coat. She heated water on a cast iron stove and sang low hymns while the rooster crowed. She washed for widows, washed for farms, for children with dust on their Sunday arms, for railroad hands and the church choir rose, for anyone carrying more than clothes. Folks said Esther had a quiet gift. She could take what looked too warm to lift, and with patient hands and the washed up foam, make something tired feel almost home. She'd say, child, stains don't scare the Lord. He has seen worse and loved us more. What the world throws out beside the road, grace can wash and gently fold. There was grace on the wash line behind Shiloh house, where the weary laid burdens they couldn't speak about. White sheets waving like a prayer in the breeze, telling every broken heart he can still be clean. When shame hung heavy, when hope felt self, God kept mercy on the wash line behind Shiloh house. One Friday came with a muddy sky, rain in the ditch and smoke up high. A young woman named Bonnie stood by the gate with a torn blue coat and a face full of weight. She spent 3 nights near the county jail, had no good story anyone could tell. The town knew rumors before they knew her name, and every whisper felt like flame. She asked for work with her eyes turned down, said, I know I ain't welcome in this town. But Esther opened the kitchen floor. No questions, cut like a sharp sharpened blade, no sermon pressed on the mess she made. Just coffee poured in a chipped white cup and a gentle voice saying, don't give up. Esther said, you are not your darkest mile. You are not too far to be called child. The Savior knows what sorrow cost, and He still goes looking for the lost. There was grace on the wash line behind Shiloh house, where the weary laid burdens they couldn't speak about. White sheets waving like a prayer in the breeze, telling every broken heart you can still be clean. When shame hung heavy, when hope felt south, God kept mercy on the wash line behind Shiloh house. Bonnie learned to rinse and rain, to pin wet cotton while the robins sing. She learned the rhythm of a working day and how quiet love can clear away. Some folks brought clothes and wouldn't stay, some left baskets and looked away. But Esther never let the gossip win, she just kept hanging mercy in the wind. One afternoon by the river bend, a little girl came with a note to send. Her mama sick and her daddy gone, winter coming hard before too long. Bonnie packed blankets from the cedar chest, added bread and a second-hand dress, then walked that road through the falling rain, carrying kindness past her own old shame. Sometimes the Lord takes wounded hands and teaches them to heal. Sometimes the ones who needed grace show others grace is real. Washed up full of river light, a cedar line stretched true, a woman given one more chance and learning what love can do. No stain too deep, no past too loud, no soul too lost beneath the cloud. When mercy moves through ordinary things, even old clothes can look like wings. By spring the yard was blooming wide, with lavender along the eastern side. And Bonnie laughed like a creek set free, hanging linens by the apple tree. The town changed slow, but it changed in time. One cup of mercy, one washed out line. Women came with baskets and prayers, leaving sorrow in the open air. Esther grew tired when the summer passed, her hands moved slower with every task. But Bonnie stayed by the washed up near, singing the hymn she used to hear. One soft dawn when the fields turned gold, Esther smiled as the breeze turned cold. Said, keep this line for the ones cast out, there's always room behind Shiloh house. There was grace on the wash line behind Shiloh house, where the weary laid burdens they couldn't speak about. White sheets waving like a prayer in the breeze, telling every broken heart you can still be clean. Now Bonnie keeps the water warm in the porch lamp, burning through every storm. For every traveler turned around, for every soul that shame has bound. There's a fence line past the county road, where the evening sun turns Sarah Beth ran the little roadside store with a screen door creaking on the wooden floor. She knew who needed bread and who needed prayer, and kept both waiting by the counter there. Her husband left when the times got hard, took the old truck and a wounded heart, but Sarah stayed with her daughter and trusting Jesus with her empty hands. Some nights she cried by the kitchen light, with bills stacked high and faith held tight. But every morning, come wind or rain, she opened up and praised his name. Where the wildflowers bend, mercy rises again, through the dust and the sorrow, through the hard way home. When the valley is low and you're too tired to stand, the Lord plants hope where the wildflowers bend. Anne grew quiet at 17, with city dreams and a restless need. She packed one night beneath the harvest moon, left a note that said, "I'll write back soon." Sarah found it by the coffee tin, held her breath and read it twice again, then walked outside where the fence line ran, and gave her child to the Savior's hand. She said, "Lord, I cannot chase her down, but your love can reach every lost town. So let my prayers ride the southern wind till they find her heart and bring her in. Where the wildflowers bend, mercy rises again, through the dust and the sorrow, through the hard way home. When the valley is low and you're too tired to stand, the Lord plants hope where the wildflowers bend." Years pass slow like a winter creek. Sarah's hair turns silver at the streaks, but every spring by the old fence row, she planted seeds where the wild things grow. Then one late evening in a somber storm, a young woman stood by the store's front door, with tired eyes and a trembling chin, and a little boy holding her hand within, and whispered, "Mama, I lost my way. I don't know if love can still remain." Sarah smiled through the falling rain, said, "Child, grace has been calling your name. Some roads leave scars upon your feet, some dreams taste bitter when they meet, but nothing grows beyond the reach of the Father's patient mercy. Every tear that hits the ground, every prayer without a sound, becomes a seed beneath His care, waiting for springtime somewhere. Where the wildflowers bend, mercy rises again, through the dust and the sorrow, through the hard way home. When the valley is low and you're too tired to stand, the Lord plants hope where the wildflowers bend. wildflowers bend by the fence line through the rain. Love came blooming back again. The Lord plants hope where the wildflowers bend. Out past Hallelujah Hollow, where the red clay road runs still, there's a hand pump by the cedar trees at the foot of Shepherd's Hill. And hanging from a rusty nail, where the morning shadows fell, was a little dented drinking cup, the tin cup at Gracewell. Elsie may live by the pasture fence with a garden full of peppermint, a screen door song and a flower-dusted chair, and a habit of beginning every day in prayer. Her daddy dug that well by hand, back when cotton ruled the bottom land. He carved one verse on a cedar rail: living water never fails. Folks would stop when the sun was high, wipe the road dust from their eyes, drink cold water from that battered cup, then leave a little lighter than they showed up. Elsie said the Lord can use a common thing, a nail, a cup, a broken string. What looks too simple for heaven to bless can still pour grace on wilderness. There was hope in the tin cup at Gracewell for every thirsty heart with a story it couldn't tell. Not silver, not shining, not polished for the town, just a humble little vessel where God's love came down. When the road turned dusty, when the spirit felt dry, there was still living water underneath that country sky. There was hope in the tin cup at Gracewell. One late summer when the creek ran low and the corn stood tired in uneven rows, a stranger came walking from the county line with a coat on his shoulder and a troubled mind. He kept his eyes on the gravel ground like he feared old names in a small town crowd. His hands were rough, his face was worn like a field left standing after hail and storm. Elsie saw him by the cedar shade where the pump handle cried and the shadows played. He reached for the cup but stopped halfway like shame had taught his hand to stay. She stepped outside with her apron tied, said, "Water's free, come rest a while. No one earns what the Father gives. Take and drink so your soul can live." He said, "Man, you don't know where I've been, or the bridges burned by my foolish sin." She said, "Child, grace is deeper still than any valley beneath this hill." There was hope in the tin cup at Gracewell for every thirsty heart with a story it couldn't tell. Not silver, not shining, not polished for the town, just a humble little vessel where God's love came down. When the road turned dusty, when the spirit felt dry, there was still living water underneath that country grace well. His name was Thomas from the ridge out west, running from a debt in his own chest. He'd left a daughter and a wife in tears and carried silence 7 bitter years. Elsie didn't ask him to explain, didn't dress her sorrow up in blame. She brought him bread and a place to sit, then prayed so soft that the room grew still. By evening light he pulled a photograph, 2 little girls by a broken path. One had eyes like the morning blue and a ribbon tied in her Sunday shoes. He said, I wrote but never sent a line, I thought forgiveness had missed its time. Elsie pointed where the well rope hung and said, the Lord ain't finished with anyone. Sometimes redemption starts with water, sometimes it starts with bread, sometimes it starts when someone hears the words we never said. Sometimes the way back home is not a highway wide, but a dusty road, a trembling soul and mercy walking beside. A tin cup swinging, a cedar rail, a tired hand that thought it failed. But Jesus meets the dry and worn and makes a well where hope is born. Thomas took the road with Elsie's Bible and a folded note. She packed him apples and a jar of beans and said, go home by grace, not by what you've seen. Weeks went by and the autumn came, maple leaves burned like altar flame. Elsie kept the cup on the rusty nail and prayed by the well when the daylight paled. Then one Sunday after church bells rang, a wagon rolled down a narrow lane. Tom stepped out with tears in his eyes and a woman beside him trying not to cry. 2 little girls ran through the grass, past a cedar rail in the garden path. They drank from the cup and laughed out loud, like heaven had opened above that ground. There was hope in the tin cup at Grace Well, for every thirsty heart with a story it couldn't tell. Out by Revival Grove where the pine trees stand and the red dust road meets the river sand, there's an old oak shade where the church folks came, and a little girl learned God knew her name. Lily May lived by the soybean field in a clapboard house with a patched up sill. Her mama worked nights at the laundry line, and her grandma prayed by the morning vine. They didn't have silk, didn't have lace, didn't have much but a table of grace. But Grandma Ruth had a needle and thread and a song about Jesus beside her bed. When the summer revival came rolling through, with folding chairs and a sky so blue, Lily May wanted something fine to wear, but all she had was an old flour sack there. Grandma said, child, hold your head up high. cicada singing an old-time tune. Families gathered by the pasture fence, with hand fans moving in the humid wind. Lily walked in with her eyes turned low, barefoot dust between every toe. That flour sack dress had a faded blue line, but Grandma's stitches made it look just fine. Some girls laughed by the lemonade stand, pointed soft with their church-gloved hands. Lily's cheeks went red as clay, and she almost turned to run away. But Miss Clara from the choir row took her hand and wouldn't let go. Said, "Come sit here where the light comes through. There's room beside me made just for you." No trumpet sounded, no thunder rolled, just kinda stronger than silver or gold. And in that moment, beneath the trees, a wounded child started learning peace. There was glory in a flower sack dress, stitched from the little that heaven blessed. Not made for praise, not made for show, but bright as mercy in the evening glow. When the world looked down, when shame pressed close, God saw a daughter the Father chose. And every heart at Revival Grove learned grace can bloom where the wildflowers grow. The preacher spoke of a widow's mite, of lamps kept burning through the night, of lilies dressed by the Father's care, and sparrows seen in the open air. Lily listened with her small hands still, while the fiddle played from the chapel hill. And every word in that summer breeze felt like rain on thirsty leaves. Then the choir rose in gentle sound, women's voices all around, and Miss Clara nodded to Lily May like heaven had opened up the way. Lily stood with a trembling chin, let one soft chorus rise within, and by the time the song was done, half the grove was crying in the setting sun. Sometimes the Lord takes what we hide and turns it into holy light. Sometimes the thing we're ashamed to bring becomes the cloth for angel wings. A flower sack, a grandma's prayer, a barefoot child in country air, a folded seam, a humble thread, a living hope where fear once said, "You are too poor, you are too small." But Jesus whispered, "I see it all." Years rolled on like a river bend. Lily grew tall and left, then came again, with the teacher's heart and a gentle smile, and a box of dresses in her truck bed piled. Every summer when revival came, she'd hang them neat on a cedar frame for any child with a worried face who needed clothing and a little grace. One old dress stayed behind the door, faded blue from the years it wore. The flower sack seams were thin and pale, but still held love like a country veil. And Lily said when the young ones cried, "Don't let this world steal your holy pride. The Lord can take what looks like less and crown it with His tenderness." There was glory in a flower sack dress, stitched from the little that heaven blessed. Not made for praise, not made for show, but bright as mercy in the evening glow. When the world looked down, when shame pressed close, God saw a daughter the Father chose. And every still live on. There are moments I still feel like your presence here is real. In the quiet, in the air, it's as if you're standing there. We'll meet again someday, I know, beyond the pain, beyond the sorrow, where no tears will fall again, and love will never end. We'll meet again someday, my friend, where broken hearts begin to mend. Till that day, I'll hold on tight and keep your memory in my life. Though I walk this road alone, I am not on my own. There's a promise deep inside that we'll stand there side by side. We'll meet again someday, I know, beyond the pain, beyond the sorrow, where no tears will fall again, and love will never end. We'll meet again someday, my friend, where broken hearts begin to mend. Till that day, I'll hold on tight and keep your memory in my life. Every tear that falls today will be wiped someday away, in a place where we will be together for eternity. We'll meet again someday, I know, beyond the pain, beyond the sorrow, where no tears will fall again, and love will never end. We'll meet again someday, my friend, where broken hearts begin to mend. Till that day, I'll hold on tight and keep your memory in my life. We'll meet again someday. There's a well beside Mercy Lane, where the dust road bends through the grain, and every bucket drawn from below carries stories only heaven knows. And a pearl lived by the county line, with a weathered fence and a grapevine. She raised 4 children on them biscuits and prayer, and taught them God was always there. Her oldest girl, Mary Lou, had a restless heart and a sky-wide view. She'd sit by the well when the chores were done, dreaming of streets beyond the setting sun. Hannah never held her too tight. She only prayed by the kitchen light. Lord, when the road takes her far from me, be the water that her soul will need. At the well beside Mercy Lane, love ran deeper than sorrow or shame. Through the dry years, through the pain, through every heart that called his name. When hope felt empty and strength began to drain, the Lord still drew living water from the well beside Mercy Lane. Mary Lou left on a Monday dawn with a canvas bag and her good shoes on. She kissed her mama by the porch screen door, then turned away and cried no more. The city lights were bright but cold. They offered silver and took her gold. She learned that fame can fade by noon, and lonely rooms can steal a tune. But every time her heart ran dry, she closed her eyes and hear the night, the rope wheel turning soft and slow, and Hannah singing, Jesus knows. At the well beside Mercy Lane, love ran deeper than sorrow or shame. Through the dry years, through the pain, through every heart that called his name. When hope felt empty and strength began to drain, the Lord still drew living water from the well beside Mercy Lane. One winter came with bitter rain. Mary lost her job and missed the train. No money left, no place to stay, just a folded note she used to pray. She read the words her mama wrote, tucked in her Bible beneath her coat. Child, no road is too far gone, the Father's mercy still runs on. So she took the highway through the night, past shuttered barns and county lights, and when the morning sun broke through, Mercy Lane came into view. Some wells are dug in rocky ground, some prayers wait years without a sound. Some daughters leave, some mothers cry, but grace keeps flowing deep inside. And every soul that thirsts for peace, every heart brought to its knees, can find the Savior waiting there, with open hands and living care. At the well beside Mercy Lane, love ran deeper than sorrow or shame. Through the dry years, through the in the rain, and felt forgiveness break the chain. And the God who sees every tear we cannot explain still draws living water from the well beside Mercy Lane, by the old fence. Through the rain, grace was waiting on Mercy Lane. The Lord still draws living water from the well beside Mercy Lane. On Cedar Lane, where the porch boards sigh, and the cornfields wait beneath a cloudless sky, there's a rain barrel by a garden gate, holding stories of a patient faith. Nora June lived in a house of pine, with blue glass jars on the windowsill line, a patchwork curtain and a screen door song, and a Bible that had carried her all life long. She lost her husband in an autumn rain, but kept his roses by the walking lane. Every morning with the sunrise low, she talked to God where the green beans grow. The summer came with a thirsty hand, cracked the creek and hardened the land. Cattle stood by the dusty fence, and every prayer felt heavy and tense. But Nora said the Lord still knows where the hidden water flows. Even when the clouds don't show their face, there's still provision underneath His grace. There was faith in the rain barrel on Cedar Lane, waiting through the dry spell, waiting through the pain. Not much to look at, just wood and iron rings, but the Lord can fill an empty place with everlasting things. When the sky stayed silent and the fields turned plain, hope kept standing by the rain barrel on Cedar Lane. The town had gathered by the courthouse wall, counting what was left for one and all. Some had wells gone bitter and low, some had children with nowhere to go. Nora brought a wagon down the road with mason jars and a humble load. Said, I ain't got plenty, but I've got some, and mercy grows when it starts to run. She poured out water for the smallest hands, for widows, flowers, and garden lands. No one knew how her barrel stayed halfway full at the end of each day. A little girl asked Miss Nora how, when there ain't one cloud above us now. Nora smiled as the daylight waned. Child, God remembers every drop of rain. She didn't speak like a prophet, clouds. She just gave what she could not keep and trusted heaven with the deep. There was faith in the rain barrel on Cedar Lane, waiting through the dry spell, waiting through the pain. Not much to look at, just wood and iron rings, but the Lord can fill an empty place with everlasting things. When the sky stayed silent and the fields turned plain, hope kept standing by the rain barrel on Cedar Lane. By August heat, the dust blew red, and worry slept in every bed. The old church garden had nearly died, with yellow leaves on either side. Nor walked there at the break of dawn, carrying water till her strength was gone. One cup for tomatoes, one for beans, one for every little mustard seed. Folks began to follow her there. Some brought buckets, some brought prayers, some brought nothing but tired knees, and knelt down low beneath the trees. Then a wind moved soft through the county line, bent the grass like a holy sign, and somewhere far past the western hill, the thunder answered quiet and still. Sometimes the blessing don't rush in fast. Sometimes the first drop is meant to last. Sometimes the miracle starts so small, you almost don't see it come at all. A cup of water, a neighbor's hand, a widow standing on thirsty land, a barrel waiting, a heart made brave, a God who knows what love can say. On Cedar Lane, where the porch boards sigh, rain still sings when the clouds roll by. Behind the barn where the tall grass grew, morning laid silver on the dew, and every nail in that old pine frame seemed to whisper somebody's name. Anna Mae came home in the middle of June with a suitcase small and a heart out of tune. The city had worn her hope down thin, so she took the gravel road back again. Her daddy's farm had seen better days. The corn stood low in a thirsty haze. The porch swing creaked like it used to do, but the house felt quiet without the truth. She walked through rooms full of dust and light, touched the quilts folded clean and white, then heard the rain that never came rattle like memory against the pane. She said, Lord, I don't know what you're asking me to say. This ground is tired and I'm not feeling brave, but shadows used to stand. It said, plant your kindness in the dust, leave the harvest to the Lord. Grace can grow from nothing much when love is what you're working toward. And Hannah May cried with her knees on the straw when she found heaven's whisper in a letter in the barn wall. The letter smelled like cedar rain, like Sunday coats and window pane. Her mama's words from years ago, before the sickness took her slow. It told of a summer dry and mean, when fields turned brown where they once were green. How neighbors came with empty hands, all standing on the same worn land. Her mama wrote we had no bread, but I remembered what Jesus said. What we give in the leanest days comes back wrapped in 1,000 ways. So Anna May held that paper tight, walked outside in the evening light, and saw the field beyond the lane, not as lost but as room for grace. She didn't have much but a rusted plow, a little faith and a sacred vow. She whispered, Lord, if you'll lead me through, I'll make this ground belong to you. There was a letter in the barn wall, written in a fading hand, tucked behind a cedar board where the shadows used to stand. It said, plant your kindness in the dust, leave the harvest to the Lord. Grace can grow from nothing much when love is what you're working toward. And Anna May cried with her knees on the straw when she found heaven's whisper in a letter in the barn wall. By July she had opened up the gate, put a hand-painted sign by the county road's edge. Take what you need, leave what you can, there's room at the table for every hand. Old Mrs. Keller brought jars of beans, little Ruth brought sunflower seeds. The preacher came with a borrowed hoe, and children laughed in the garden rows. Some brought sorrow they couldn't name, some brought silence, some brought shame. But under the blue of that country sky they found new reasons to lift their eyes. And when the first tomatoes turned red, they filled a basket by the church steps. No one asked who deserved the food, they just passed mercy like good folks do. Sometimes the Lord does not move the mountain, sometimes He teaches hands to climb. Sometimes the rain is slow in coming, but grace still arrives on time. In every field that looks forsaken, in every dream that seems withdrawn, there's a seed beneath the breaking, waiting for the dawn. There was a letter in the barn wall, written in a fading hand, tucked behind a cedar board where the shadows used to stand. It said, plant your kindness in the dust, leave the harvest to the Lord. Grace can grow from nothing much when love is what you're working toward. Now there's a table by the cornfield, there's a lantern in the hall, there's a town that learned forgiveness from a letter in the barn wall. And Anna May sings when the evening shadows fall, God can raise a field of mercy from a letter in the barn wall. The rain came soft on a Sunday night, washing the roof in silver light, and every row in that old red clay lifted its leaves like hands to pray. Plant your kindness in the dust, leave the harvest to the Lord. There was a letter in the barn wall. a letter in the barn wall. Mary lived on Maple Street in a house with broken screens. Paint was fading on the walls and the door would barely close. Every morning just at 9 she would sit with coffee by the same chair, the same view, waiting for something new. People passed but never stayed, never heard the prayer she prayed. Mary on Maple Street, with a heart no one could see. Every tear she tried to hide was a whisper to the sky. Mary on Maple Street, never thought she'd be set free. But there's a love that always hears even silent hidden tears. One cold night the power died, snow was falling deep outside. She just knelt beside her bed with the words she never said. In the quiet of that night, something changed without a sign. Not a voice, not a sound, just a peace that came around. For the first time she could feel something broken start to heal. Every tear she tried to hide was a whisper to the sky. Mary on Maple Street, never thought she'd be set free. But there's a love that always hears even silent hidden tears. Now she smiles a little more, leaves the window, walks outdoors. Though her world is still the same, she is not the same again. hold inside. You can see it all so clear, still you hold me close and near. Held by a father's love, safe within your arms above. Through the storm, through the pain, you will carry me again. Held by a father's care, knowing you are always there. I will rest, I will rest, I will stay in your love that will not fade. I don't need to be afraid, even when the road has changed. You are watching over me, just the way a father sees. Held by a father's love, safe within your arms above. Through the storm, through the pain, you will carry me again. Held by father's care, knowing you are always there. I will rest, I will rest, I will stay in your love that will not fade. Even when I don't feel strong, you have held me all along. In your eyes I always see who I'm meant to truly be. Held by a father's love, safe within your arms above. Through the storm, through the pain, you will carry me again. Held by a father's love. When the ground beneath me shakes and the night feels hard to face, there's a truth I hold inside. You are standing by my side. Though the storm may rise again and I cannot see the end, still I know what you have said. Every word is standing firm. Every promise still remains. Through the fire, through the rain, not a word has ever failed. Every truth has always stayed. Every promise still stands true. I can put my trust in you. Through the night into the day, every promise still remains.
walked through Georgia, the moon was hanging low, with the pine trees softly swaying where the warm night breezes blow. There were crickets in the shadows, there were stars above the road, and your hand was like a promise that my heart would always hold. We had no way of knowing where the years would take us through, but every southern evening still reminds my heart of you. Take me back to Georgia, where the old songs fill the air, where the moonlight touched your shoulder and love was standing there. Take me back to Georgia, where the golden memories shine. Every road beneath those stars still leads your heart to mine. There were churches in the distance, there were flowers by the lane, there were prayers beneath the silence, like a blessing after rain. You were laughing by the roadside, I was singing soft and wrong, and the whole world felt much sweeter when you smiled inside that song. Now the road has turned much farther, and the map has changed its name, but every time the music plays, I walk with you again. Take me back to Georgia, where the old songs fill the air, where the moonlight touched your shoulder and love was standing there. Take me back to Georgia, where the golden memories shine. Every road beneath those stars still leads your heart to mine. Georgia night, ooh, soft and bright, ooh, every melody brings your love back home, baby. If time would give one evening underneath those southern skies, I would hold your hand more gently and never say goodbye. For love is not a highway that disappears from view. It lives inside the old songs and every road to you. Take me back to Georgia, where the old songs fill the air, where the moonlight touched your shoulder and love was standing there. Take me back to Georgia, where the golden memories shine. Every road beneath those stars still leads your heart to mine. Take me back to Georgia, where our simple dreams were true, where every prayer beneath the moon still brings me back to you. Georgia night, ooh, soft and bright, ooh, every melody brings your love back home to me. So when the old songs find me and the southern stars shine through, I'll meet you back in Georgia, where my heart first found